Hi there, it's time for the weekly video. I was going to delay the video this week because I am going along tomorrow evening to see the new Mission Impossible film, and I'm very excited about that, and it would have been nice to have a very bang up to date sort of summary review on the YouTube channel, but that is going to take up a lot of my evening tomorrow, and then I'll be playing catch up the evening after. I still do the gym, I still do everything that I'm doing. You know, there's work, there's life, there's family stuff. It all revolves around you know, everything interlocking. So I can't do that. I can only say that I'm very much looking forward to Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. I hope it'll be a good time at the cinema. Last time I was at the cinema, I had a good time with Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I've had a pretty good week. Last Tuesday was July 4th, so obviously you're gonna need a bigger boat. I managed to take some time off and make sure I enjoyed Jaws because it's a perfect July 4th movie. I didn't have time for Return of the Living Dead, unfortunately, which was annoying for me because a couple of people spoke about that and it fell on the right date. It takes place mainly July 3rd into July 4th. I did, however, last week make time for the features in the Enter the Video Store Empire of Screams box set, and I can say I had a lot of fun with these. Also, because I never really go through all of the extra features and I'm quite casual with my discussion of the titles that come through, they're really just to bring them to your attention rather than get in depth with everything that's on there. But I was singing the praises of John Carl Buechler. I'm not sure if that's how you say his name correctly, apologies, but he is involved in, I don't know if it's all of these films, possibly, certainly most of them to a degree. And I remembered that I really enjoyed his work. He did the Ghoulies, the creature effects for those. He did Troll. I think he directed Troll as well. He did Cellar Dweller in this set, had a lot of input in the Dungeon Master, had all kinds of input everywhere. He's a really good guy for the squidgy, squishy puppet effects. And someone pointed out to me, it was Dave actually who's on this, he asked me, have you watched Grabbed by the Ghoulies? Which is a new appreciation of John Carl Buechler in the set. And unfortunately, I haven't yet. It's Dave and Matty on there. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun and really informative and really as happy to be celebrating the man as fans of this kind of fare would expect. So I don't know when / if I'll make time for that in the near future, but I did want to point that out as another reason to pick up the set. This lovely set. I think it's maybe quite difficult to get hold of already, but if you can, again, I'd highly recommend it. That's it. You know, we've got the movies lined up for the podcast this week. Dave's gone old school classic with the Amityville Horror. I should have made my choice Amityville 2 The Possession and paired that up nicely. But I had my mind set on the new Centurions, which is a film that's been on my shelves for a while. So going with that, going with the Amityville Horror, I think there'll be a lot to discuss with those. I think it'll be fun. I hope you enjoyed the discussion of Muscle and Teenage Caveman. The latter conversation, you know, usually hurting Tyler's feelings as we so often do. And the video uploaded last Friday, I believe, that I joined in with for Dr. AC, Aaron Christensen. He has his YouTube channel, and it was him, Christian Benedict, who's been on the show with us on the podcast, very knowledgeable movie lover, wonderful person, and they were stuck with me. And we were all discussing Quatermass, the Quatermass movies, basically, and the later TV shows, the sort of early to mid 70s Quatermass with Sir John Mills in the role, and the BBC live reworking of the material that was in, I want to say, the early 2000s. It was a good conversation. It runs for just over an hour. I'll put the link in the description if you have time, and if you like Quatermass, then some people have assured me that I don't come over quite as dumb as I thought I would, so that's a plus, but maybe they are just being nice to me because we're friends. So yeah, please do check that out, and it has given me the confidence and the savvy to be able to want to do a bit more of that. I say savvy in terms of, we did a test for the tech. I got the angle generally right for the computer and the mic, and yeah, it's doable. It's quite easily doable. So I would like to do more of that every now and again. It is always worrying trying to keep all your notes in order, have the tabs, have the information to hand, because I've said many times before, my memory is quite terrible when it comes to exact dates and exact names and lists of names. That's it. Happy birthday for a couple of days ago, a day or two ago, for regular viewer Bruce. And because Bruce has been back and forth with some VHS tales of his own, it is quite the theme recently. This has been ongoing. So it is the plus side of me having this rant about the In Search of Darkness documentaries. I had one last kind of cherished VHS memory. This is a secret, so you cannot tell anyone, particularly the lovely foster mother I had when I was in my mid to late teens. I was there with another lad who actually, I think if I remember right, he coincidentally had the same birthday as me. I think we were birthday twins, but we otherwise couldn't be more different. So we were staying there, and if you're in someone's home, it takes a while to adjust, and you're getting used to what you can and can't get away with, and being polite, but they are also encouraging you to, hopefully be integrated and enjoy your life as normally as you feel you can. So we are about 16 at this point, and someone had a tape of Lethal Weapon 2 off the TV. Lethal Weapon films, we would be fans. We asked if we could watch Lethal Weapon 2, and we were told, yeah, you can watch it in the other room. There was a small dining room, and there was a small TV and video unit in the dining room. So all the adults can watch our stuff in the living room, EastEnders, Top of the Pops, whatever. We went through to watch Lethal Weapon 2, and we enjoyed Lethal Weapon 2. Who doesn't? Especially not 16-year-old teenage boys. But Lethal Weapon 2 had been recorded off the TV, and when it cut out, there was something on after Lethal Weapon 2. Now, at the time, I didn't realise who this was, but it was Laura Gemser. And there's a large box set of her work being released lately. I still can't quite recall the exact title. I think it was Emmanuel in Africa. I could be wrong though, because obviously I wasn't taking notes on the title then. And that played out. So as soon as we saw that playing out, we're like, and started to keep an eye on the door, lowered the volume, watched things play out, and it was a very interesting movie experience. Things don't end there though. Obviously, we now knew we had access to this gold, and just to watch and enjoy the sexy times that were on it. If I wasn't clear earlier, there are sexy times in this film. So basically, Andy, that was the other lad's name. Andy and I, as often as possible, when we had some free time in the evening, we would always ask if we could watch Lethal Weapon 2. And I really think the whole family thought we were the biggest Lethal Weapon fans that they've probably ever had. And yeah, I don't think they ever found out the truth. I don't know if anyone else watched the movie once they had other things to watch. But if they ever accidentally stumble upon this video, they know the truth now. It wasn't just Lethal Weapon 2 that we were looking forward to watching. It was whatever had been partially taped over, or the recorder had been left and it was on something like that. I'm going to say it was partially taped over, because I don't think you have many channels where Emmanuel in Africa was on TV. So that's it. That is the last memorable VHS tale that I can think of for now. Obviously, there are so many different aspects of, for all of us, our movie viewing lives, and what you get to see at certain ages and what you maybe shouldn't have seen. I used to stay with my gran a lot, and she would fall asleep quite early. And the Triangle, I can't remember, maybe the Red Triangle films that were on Channel 4. If Channel 4 was on, I would pretend to be asleep, but obviously I saw a lot of stuff I shouldn't have done then. I mean, I was even watching Prisoner Cell Block H, anyway, with my gran back then, back in the mid to late 80s. So that was a trip. And I could tell when my gran had started snoring that I could just leave the TV on for as long as possible and see what else was on. But that is neither here nor there. It's a different thing. This was a running thread about VHS, and I think we've done with the VHS for now, unless someone reminds me of something else that's lurking in my memory. That's it. That was the final tale I had, particularly for Bruce, who had I don't have the comment up at the minute, but I think it was some tale involving porkies, if I remember right, which was quite funny. Anyway, again, happy birthday. Thanks to everyone who's been tuning into these videos. Hope you do like and subscribe if you watch these videos. It's too late to say this now, people have tuned out. I will also say though, on the Apple Podcast app, the podcast is always there for 25 episodes, the 25 most recent episodes. That isn't down to us. We are not trying to take people away from Apple Podcasts. There's nothing behind a paywall. It's not our decision. If you have any tips for that, I will be asking this elsewhere on different social media sites. If you do know how we can change that and just have the full archive accessible there, we'd really appreciate just a heads up on how it's done. And hopefully the more people that discover us, more people can dive back into, I mean, it's 6.5, 7 years we've been going now. It's a long time. So there's plenty of nonsense there to listen to. I'm off for now. I look forward to Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 tomorrow evening. I hope you enjoy your week, and I'll speak to you next week. Bye.